Oh, you gonna clap it up? I thought of the brothers, y'all smart. The class. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hunter. The other Muslim mosque, Christian sects, or blackly black groups, man, we stand alone. Since 19 called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indian. All right, so here in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. For the city, and they just so happen to be Slovakia. Lovely Kendricks, all right, is the reason why so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians need to be in the ISPK. Read the article. A dispatcher said several teens were fighting at the October. This was published October 10th and updated October 11th. Shot at Friday, according to Columbus Division of Police. Police said the shooting happened around 3:20 p.m. A dispatcher said several teens were fighting at the park when shots were fired. Pod said the girl, identified as Lovely Kendricks, was taken to Nationwide Children's Hospital in critical condition. So understand this, like, how old do you have to be to go to the regular hospital? 24?
It could be any age, depending on the type of emergency you're in.
Well, she was taking the children's. I don't know many adults that are taking the children's from gunshot.
They take you to the closest hospital.
So when it comes down to, her age is just one of those things where it's so senseless, man. And I guarantee you, she was around her peers. Police said she was pronounced dead at 9:35 p.m. Kendrick's death is the 110th homicide in Columbus this year. Columbus City Schools confirmed Kendricks was enrolled at East High School, and that's the school right across the street from the parking lot. Yeah. So one of those things where you have kids being kids, but not knowing that our identifying factors are these curses, and they're assigned for us. So instead of us being identified by other characteristics, we are identified by these curses. We'll get into that as well. Matter of fact, go ahead and read that. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, what does that mean, moreover? You know what that means? Got you. The word moreover means in addition to what has been said, besides, okay? So, moreover, in addition to all these things that have already been said, all these curses shall come upon thee. Talking about the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So why are we identified when it comes to our nation of so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians? When it comes to our forefathers and mothers, when it comes to us, when it comes to our children, when it comes to the nation of Israel, why are we identified by curses? If you was paying attention in verse 45, it says, because we didn't hearken unto the voice of the Lord, our God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you this day. Now, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that he didn't speak of any other nation. You know, he's not talking about the Hamite, which is the African, or Edomite, which is a white man, you know what I'm saying, or Moab, which is the Chinese man. You're talking about the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. All right. Everyone's always asking for a sign for God to show them something. This young girl got killed, broad daylight, 3:20, and she died in the evening, and you're still asking for a sign. Like, make that make sense. How long will we be simple? How long will we sit here and continue to light candles and mourn our youth, who innately are supposed to be our future, if they have righteous leadership, which they don't, primarily because of the Christian church? And when you think about the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, we get our education from the Christian church. And I know some of y'all say, well, I don't go to church. Well, the person who taught you what you believe in, those dogmatic principles and those beliefs that you hold near and dear to your heart, you were taught by someone who came out of the Christian church. All right. Back to the article. It says, Potts said people do not need to reach for a gun every time there is an altercation. There used to be a time where people could have a fist fight, and that's it. They're they're here to live another day. Potts said, unfortunately, we see with guns so accessible, people are willing to use them for minor altercations. All right. So that's the police chief talking, you know, on some Friday, like, you know, put your dukes up. Now you're a man. You fight, you live to see another day. Well, who do they learn that from? Who controls the airwaves? Who pumps all that demonic music out there and, you know, movies, you know what I'm saying, villainizing the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians? What righteous leadership besides the ICPK under Commander Junior Hunter does the youth have? You know, every time you turn on the news and you're able to see the problem, how often, you know, do they forecast or project the actual truth, the solution of the matter? They don't. So Barakatha Yahweh Shah for Commander Junior Hunter and the ICPK and these mighty men, you know, that show the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians that they're loved by going to war with their own demons, getting themselves together in this wicked nation so that we can teach each other, you know, the value, you know what I'm saying, in one another and how to have compassion. You understand? She's talking about a fist fight. There gonna be no fist fights in the ghettos and the barrios and favelas. You know, Christians don't want to be justified. They want what they want. And it's a very wicked and evil thing. You understand? They're the first to pick up a stone and cast it up against somebody's head. Then the first one to also say that they love the Lord, right? So I don't even know why politicians and public figures act like they care about the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, because they don't. They don't. They want to keep you captivated on TV, make you feel a sense of patriotism when it comes to this nation because it's profitable for them. You know, whenever you have a situation where someone can speak up and they don't, it's because they hating, man. They don't give a damn about your life, my life. All they give a damn about profitable gain because this is their kingdom. All right. We'll get some more scriptures. Like I said before, we're the IUCPK, started on 1 West, 125th Street, Hall, New York, under Commander Junior Hunter. Okay. We teach the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians who they are according to the Bible. Not according to thus saith me or your big pantsuit wearing pastor who just makes up anything during his sermons, which he doesn't even ask you if you have any questions. He tells you a story, gives you a song, the choir sings, makes you feel good, and gives you a dance like any other ritual or Celtic ritual, you know what I'm saying, or something that we don't even believe in. It's a lot, yeah. So this is the book of 1 John 5 and 3. And it reads, for this is the love of God, Everybody says they love God, right? Everybody. Your mom would tell you that right before she beats the living crap out of you. You know, so you be in the store, run over her foot with that cart from following her too close. You turn around, knock your lights out. You was just excited about being able to pick out your cereal. Next thing you know, your mom going upside your head. She's faster than Muhammad Ali. Boy, she goddamn hit the lights and be in the bed before the room get dark. Now you got to come to and figure out what it is that you did wrong, because that abuse your mother learned from her mother and her mother and her mother. Because if you'd have made too much noise, you'd have changed master's mind and he'd have been coming in there and sleep with your sister, or hanging your dad from a whipping post by his thumbs and beating his behind. So sometimes that scolding was needed back in the day, but fast forward to 2022, it's unnecessary. The things that we do, and we claim to love the Lord, man. You'll starve your children all day and night because what? You're in a fake Israelite group and you're trying to do the service of the Lord for the Day of Atonement. A child has no business partaking in the Day of Atonement. Which, like I said before, shout out to Commander Junior Hanna, because had it not been for the Christian church, we would know how to keep these feast days and high holy days, which are glorious, by the way. You ain't got to worry about Uncle John or Uncle Charles, who's in that back room, that you have to cross to get to the bathroom, pulling you by the arm into the bedroom and molesting you. You ain't got to worry about that. Because in ICPK, we don't keep those wicked holidays. You understand? We keep these high holy days, which are statutes and laws that we're supposed to keep in all our dwellings. No matter what captivity we're in, no matter where we live, we're supposed to keep these high holy days and feast days. And because we don't do that, we don't hearken to the voice of the Lord, man. This is why those curses are identifying factors, signs for the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians here in America. So let me get back to 1 John 5 and 3. If you're listening and paying attention, man, go ahead and take a pencil out, man. Take a pencil, take a pen, get on your notepad and keep these precepts, because the Bible is an actual manual, and the words on these pages are living words, man, because if you keep these words that are written on these pages, these laws, statutes, and commandments, and write these precepts down, when you get yourself in a tight squeeze, you'll know how to deny your flesh, make a soul affliction so that you can save your own life, because your feelings are demons, man. And those demons are meant to destroy you. You wonder where they come from. They're passed down from your mother and your father. You picked up a few along the way as well. You were born with some. And so therefore, by not denying your flesh and listening to the Christian church, we are destroyed in America. All right. So this is the love of God. This is 1 John 5 and 3, that we keep his commandments. Didn't say that the commandments were done away with. It says that we keep his commandments. How do you keep the commandments? How do you keep the commandments? You keep the commandments by doing them. Like I said before, we're the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You practice doing these things. Like it is written, we rehearse righteous acts. Why? Because for as long as, the devil has been in rulership, he's been teaching us the wrong things. And so now, instead of us hearkening to the voice of the Lord, we hearken to fools who have respect of persons and don't give a damn about us. That's right. We're supposed to follow the law, statutes, commandments. By following them, you keep them. All right. So there's no reason why you said, well, I didn't know. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to sleep with my brother's wife. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to rob that bank. I didn't know I was not supposed to touch that kid. He kept looking at me. No. By following these laws, statutes, commandments, and learning from a mighty priest and prophet in the ISUPK, you'll know exactly what to do and how to deny your flesh so that you keep these laws, statutes, commandments. Because the last part says, and his commandments are not grievous. So can you give me that word grievous in the Webster's Mediterranean Dictionary? Merriam-Webster's, I keep saying Mediterranean, Merriam-Webster's, grievous. All right, I got it. So grievous, causing or characterized by severe pain, suffering, or sorrow. oppressive, right? That's something that the white man, who's the devil the Bible speaks of, does in America. He oppresses the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans. I wonder why brothers are so mad, because oppression makes a wise man mad. You don't want somebody bossing you around at work. They sitting there and they big fat behind. All you see is they head that's shaped like a question mark, looking at a phone screen, and he telling you to go get the boxes. After you done took out the trash and put the meat in the hot box, and you go on the grill still, hands full, busy with so many tasks, because he wants to be oppressive. He's not doing anything. Well, what we just read was that these laws, statutes, and commandments aren't grievous. They're not grievous, meaning you can keep them. But because of what we're taught in America, because of the Christian church, they said the law's done away with, which is not. We don't. So we're going to go way back to get a milk scripture. All right, we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 chapter, verses 15. Matter of fact, we'll go there first. All right. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15. It reads, "But it shall come to pass," right? "These things shall happen, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God." Why did it always say thy God? Talking about our power, man. Our power is not the Muslim mosque. It's not by self-identifying as a Moor, which innately means black, or wearing some old stupid unk around your neck, or even a cross. Why would you want to wear a cross around your neck anyway? That was an apparatus created by the Romans to torture Negroes. Wasn't that our king was tortured on? Why would you want to glorify that? A brother made a very heavy point. If one of your loved ones was shot with a bullet, would you glorify it? Would you glorify them by putting that same bullet around your neck and wearing it like a badge of honor? No, you wouldn't. I would hate bullets. I wouldn't want to wear it around my neck. Stupid Christians wear crosses for them. Right. The Most High is the only power, man. So understand that. There's no power, no crystal, or one of them stupid Qurans or any of that. The power's in the Most High, and he decides if you come or if you're going. Which brings me to my point, all right? This is Deuteronomy 28:15. "But it shall come to pass, meaning these things will happen, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, in your power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." And we just read that these curses are a sign, identifying factors, because we don't hearken unto the voice of the Lord. We don't keep these commandments. We don't observe to keep them. How do you observe to keep these commandments? You watch what the heck you do, man. Don't you want somebody to watch where they stepping when you're on this jam-packed club and you got your all-white G Fazos on? Your retros. Don't you want somebody to watch their feet? Well, you should watch and observe to do all his commandments and his statutes. He's in the grocery store just grabbing stuff off the shelf, not even checking to see if it had any gluten in it. No, there's gluten, gelatin. If it has any gelatin in it, salakia, or any type of pork casings, you know what I'm saying? You have to care, man. That's the difference between life and death. You want the Lord to care about you. You want him to be in every little facet of your life. But you can't not eat some pork. Bro, I prayed over it. When prayers ain't being answered, give a damn how much you pray. There's no, in verse 16, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field." There's nowhere that the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians can go that we won't be cursed. You go to work, you're cursed there. Whether you're working in the city or in a warehouse around the country, we're cursed everywhere we go. And some of us are under so much strong delusion, we think, oh yeah, we made it. This is our place of rest because you have a little bit of money. Well, what about when we have another pandemic when that money doesn't account for anything? You done turned your back on everyone because you got your nose up. You think you Mr. Rogers. You come home and change your sweater and put another sweater on. Like, don't nobody give a damn about that, man. What about your brothers and sisters that's still on the border in chains? What about them? You're cursed, man. You can't go to a grocery store and buy nothing if it's not open. During the midst of the pandemic, wasn't nothing open. It was eating the food we already had. Or like we used like Captain Goggle Bar down in, what was it, St. Louis? Mighty man out there passing out food during the midst of the pandemic. Brother, people pulling up with Range Rovers, Jaguars, Honda Accords, and you name it. I think I seen Cole and the Pacer. Coming to get food that was provided, you know what I'm saying, by Commander Junior Hunter, a mighty man down there, Captain Golden Bar, man. Shout out to that brother, you know, doing mighty work, you know, feeding his brothers and sisters. He knows the value. And make no mistake, oh, y'all brothers, you know, y'all think, man, he's a captain. That is a very high rank in the ISUPK. You don't get it by sitting on your black behind, twiddling your thumbs, always talking and never walking. You understand? So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. All right. There's another story I wanted to bring out. But man, it said that happened on Monday, right? Columbus Day. So I think was school out or school in?
School's out.
Man, so you think about, man, you know, after school, I used to go to Douglasburg, you know, for a while. And it was just like, you know, those teachers would treat us like savages. And I'm like, man, I'm on the East Campus. I think that was on the North Campus. And I had to walk all the way to the North Campus to get to the bus. But, you know, fights will break out, man. And it'd be whole crowds of brothers and sisters just going at it, man. You pay attention to the ground, you see all kinds of beepers, pagers, you know what I'm saying, combs, brushes. I'm just thinking to myself, like, where do we learn how to act like that? You know, why do we act like that? Who taught us how to hate each other? And it's one simple answer. A white man, who is the devil the Bible speaks of. Understand that. Get that in your noggin. All right? He's the one that came up with these religions. And by the way, there is no such thing as religion in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. I mean, of course, nowadays they have religions in so many denominations. But who taught us that? Your mom did. Your dad did. Big mama, you know, got her foot cut off. She couldn't stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. But I'm going to tell you who teaches us what we know in the ISUPK. All right? We're going to go to Deuteronomy 27:1. Bible says, prove all things. All right? So it says, and Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people. All right? Moses and the elders of Israel. That's what you call righteous leadership. Understand that we have righteous leadership in the ISUPK. Contrary to your mom, your pastor, or somebody who hating and not understanding that we're doing this because we actually love the Lord. We love our brothers and sisters. We have righteous rulership under Commander Junior Hunter. Under Commander Junior Hunter, the generals, the captains, the officers, all the way down to the troopers, man. And the young men that's coming in, shedding themselves in the world, and learning, you know, how to keep these laws, statutes, commandments. All right. It says, and Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. All right. And if you pay attention, that righteous leadership said a very important thing that the Christian church tells you contrary all the time. The Christian church tells you that the law is done away with. And it's not. Right here you have Moses with the elders of Israel saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. All right. And when you do that, that's you hearken to the voice of the Lord. And there's two types of judgment, might I add. All right. There's individual judgment, comes from punishment that the Lord gives a brother or a sister. And then there's that punishment that we suffer as a nation, the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, because of these curses. All right. We're identified as, man, niggers, spics, wetbacks, that MF over there, that son of a B over there, you know what I'm saying? That thief. We're stereotyped all the time. And how come I can be 6'7"? No, I'm 6'2" on a good day. You know, I get my Tim's on, I'm 6'2", right? And another brother doesn't have to have the same complexion as myself or the same stature. Could be walking down the street after committing a crime, and I'm minding my own business. They throw me in cuffs because they don't care. Police are here to police us, to protect themselves and their own wicked kingdom. So instead of running to church every time something happens, instead of going down to your town hall meeting, because they don't have the answers, man. They know it's beneficial for us to keep killing each other. They make more money off of a homicide than they do you taking your black behind to McDonald's, right? It's profitable for them, for us to do the wrong things. I don't know this. They're always watching and paying attention to what we do, gathering intel so that why? They can keep us with a lack of understanding. Because of that lack of understanding, we are destroyed, man. All right, we're destroyed because of that lack of understanding. We don't get into scriptures. Matter of fact, let's go to Amos 3 and 6. I like Amos 3 and 6. Let's go to Amos 3 and 6 right quick. Amos chapter 3, verse 6. There was shootings that happened early this year in grocery stores where so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians were targeted, shot down like dogs in the street, man. What did we do? Same thing we did when Breonna Taylor died, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin. And there's a list. Where's the list of devils that are being shot down dead in the street? Oh, there isn't one, because they're not. That's a sign to all you big-headed Negroes to get up out of the Christian church and stop thinking you know something. All that marching we've been doing, sicking dogs on us, just for what? You to go right back to celebrating Christmas, putting money in their pocket, buying them presents, damn near burning your house down with them stupid trees, and hanging lights all over the place. How many times a brother or sister fall off a roof trying to hang some lights? How many times a brother or sister damn near burn their house down trying to fry a turkey on Thanksgiving? Like, come on, man. You so busy worried about food stamps, you keep buying these little baby, you like chicken. Man, get you a big turkey 365 days out the year. You always have meat in your house. You know what I'm saying? How big a turkey is? Good night. But because of that wicked holiday, they celebrate Christopher Columbus and him slaughtering our First Nation brothers and sisters, the Taino Indians here in America, 700 heavily armed men, killing our brothers and sisters, then having a feast about it. Here your black behind go, thinking it's a good time of the year. Everybody's at the table. The nigga that stole from you, your cousin you want to kill, your mom you ain't talked to in 2 or 3 years because you stole some money out of her purse. That great uncle that's molested generations of children. Everybody at the same table, this nasty feast day, and the Lord hates it. Y'all about to sing Kumbaya and then go watch the Christmas story later. And somebody else is gonna get molested, someone will get cussed out, drunk, and then leave. Nah, we don't have that in the IRCP County Command. We have glorious high holy days and feast days where brothers and sisters come together with their kids, you know what I'm saying, up under this UPK banner, you know what I'm saying, the hope of the same thing, serving the same Lord, the same damn body. Understand that if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indian, you don't have to worry about your kids getting molested because the kid's going to be in a room with sisters that's watching over them, you know what I'm saying, sisters in the kitchen cooking, brothers doing the service of the Lord, and then after that, drinking, eating, and having a good old time, man. That's something we do not worry about in the ISUPK. So this is Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? Right? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? It's asking a question, right? A trumpet. What is a trumpet? A trumpet is a horn, all right? And so it's used as an alarm, all right? What do alarms do? They alert you. They alert you to danger, whether it be fire alarm. They alert you to wake up, hit snooze 17 times. You're about to be late for work. That boss about to be all on your ass. When somebody crosses over in your lane, you think he's the best driver in the world because you drive fast. And you can dodge any pothole. You know what I'm saying? somebody got to beat their horn, which is an alarm, to alert that you're crossing over in the wrong lane. You could potentially cause an accident, right? It says, and the people not be afraid. Back then, when civilizations or countries or nations were going to war, they sounded the horns. They had battle cries and drums, and it was a very scary thing, right? And so it says, shall there be evil in the city? And the Lord hath not done it. And see, what you need to understand is the Lord creates peace and he creates evil. All right. We're allotted a short period of time through grace and mercy, right, to get ourselves together. And in order to get yourself together with the kingdom, you have to get into the ISUPK. Come in here, you know what I'm saying? Put down those thoughts of whatever it is that you learned in the world and being a selfish bastard. Learn how to be responsible for someone other than yourself. Learn how to be a brother. Learn how to be a sister, man. Learn what your true identity is according to this Bible, instead of it being a curse for a sign. All right. And that's what we're talking about right here. That evil, man. We see evil happening all throughout the city of Columbus. 15-year-old gets shot. Another 17-year-old girl got shot. I think 17 or 16-year-old. And at the hour, where her sister got shot, killed as well. I think 3 women got shot that night. And the shooter was a woman as well. We always ask certain questions because the lack of knowledge. And then we gain a narrative identity disorder by trying to figure out the answers on our own. Come to school, the ISUPK, man. Learn what it is that you need to do, right? This operating manual that teaches the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians how to conduct themselves in this wicked empire is going to be the reason why you survive. The reason why you're set free from all these curses, because you know how to hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord. That alarm keeps going off. Brother gets shot on the east side. 17 more get shot on the south side. Another 3 up north, and then another 2 down south. And then, we just got a gang of robberies and car thefts from the west side. That's an alarm, man. Because the first thing the newscaster says, well, this is happening at an alarming rate. And they know why it's happening. They got us so packed closely together that we would kill one another over a parking spot, man. Meanwhile, in the 3/5 compromise, they were able to get all kinds of things. And we were considered 3/5 of a person. I mean, you got to kill 6 Negroes in order for it to be what? 1 dead body? Man, get out of that junk, man. Stop going to these weird psychics who shuffle through Uno cards and wait for one to fall out before they tell you, oh, well, this is this, that, and the third. Stop thinking that crystals have energy, because they don't. Stop thinking that you're going to find the truth or this education anywhere other than in the ISUPK under Commander Juliana. We don't get Proverbs 3 and 5. All right. Write these precepts down, man. You got to start somewhere. Tune into class. Got classes all during the week, man. Radio shows. Brothers put forth the effort to teach you, so you can't say you didn't know. I'm going to tell you right now, ain't going to be no slow singer and flower bringer when Christ come back. He's coming back. He's coming through to cut heads off. All right. So I said Proverbs, 3 and 5. So it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. All right. To trust in the Lord, man, with all thine heart. Now, if you're in this school, you understand that your heart is synonymous to your mind. All right. So-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, we've always had a way with our tongue, being the vernacular in which we speak. They call it ebonics and this, that, and the third. They always have a name for something, but there's a certain type of way. Some brothers got that southern gift of gab. Brothers up north, they got a different type of tongue in which they speak as well. But your heart doesn't do anything according to the AMP, anatomy and physiology of the body, but pump blood. Okay? Pumps blood. It doesn't have the capacity to think or reason. doesn't have the capacity to make decisions and choices. So when you think about what actually does, your mind does. All right. So it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, mind, right? And lean not unto thine own understanding. How do you lean unto your own understanding? Well, when the Bible says, don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, just because you're having what's some type of party? A party at your job, a potluck at your job. Thank you, sis. A potluck at your job. Just because they only brought pork, that brother that's from Louisiana brought a whole low food crab boil with all that mess in there. And you say, man, I ain't ate all day. Well, if I just pray over it, ain't no praying over it. Bible says we're not supposed to eat certain things. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't put oil in your gas tank, would you? If it was unacceptable? Right, you do the opposite of what the Most High said, man. And that's what leaning unto your own understanding is. Everybody wants somebody listening to them. Somebody always got a story to tell. Somebody always wants someone to listen to their feelings and, respect them and pay homage to them like they're worth so much. They ain't worth a damn thing, especially if you're not doing what thus saith the Lord. All right, I'll read that one more time. This is Book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, all your mind, man. You ain't got no time to be thinking about your baby mama. Well, I got to just do this because if I don't come home with this money, nah, man, she's going to have to wait. Wait till your black behind get a job. Because when you in them county, whatever colors, on your way to the pen, you know what? She's going to find another sucker. Understand that. And it just ain't sisters, it's brothers too. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you just can't be going around sticking your rod in every old thing and, doing all types of wickedness, brother. You got to guard up the loins of thy mind. Stop leaning on your own understanding. Just because you feeling good at the end of the club, don't mean you got to get you some, brother. Go on home and get ready for work tomorrow. You stay out all night trying to get you some. The old man once said, don't. I'm like, what's it? His old say, he say, don't mess up some for show trying to get you some more, if you understand what I mean. What I'm putting down, you pick it up, can you dig? But lean not to the own understanding, man. All right. The Lord's not going to be slack. Just because that punishment may not come expediently doesn't mean it's not going to come. You look at all the people that you glorify in this wicked kingdom who do absolutely nothing for you. And then when they get that judgment passed, you crying. You crying harder than your mother or your father who died of cancer because they kept smoking. You think that's any different? Just because they have money? Just because they're on TV showing you the wrong things to do? Well, I'm on TV. Look at me. Look at my brothers, you know what I'm saying? They're teaching these classes. We're showing you the right things to do. Understand that, man. You're not going to be able to solve any type of problems in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, Indian neighborhoods if you keep going to the oppressor for the answer. You keep going to the voting polls and the voting booths as if they have the answer. They don't. The United States Constitution says that you're 3/5 of a man or a woman. You're considered farm equipment or what they say, chattel or chattel, cattle. They don't give a damn about the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians. They was in an uproar about some stupid Little Mermaid. Who gives a damn about the Little Mermaid when they don't have fresh water in Mississippi? Or Michigan. We're in dire need of just the basic necessities. You know what I'm saying? But they can send billions of dollars to Ukraine for what? That's a slap in the face. And you still looking at Sleepy Joe because he said you ain't black unless you vote for me. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you vote for him, you're a damn coon. You understand? And you have no love for your brothers and sisters. Stop voting, man. It's a waste of time. They don't care about us when they tell you that what Planned Parenthood is healthcare. That's not healthcare. They're trying to destroy us as a nation. They're all confederate against us. We should go into that. Go into the next class, Psalms 83. So that the children of Israel are in no more remembrance. That's what abortion does, man. Wipes out nations. And you mean to tell me I gotta care about what Hitler did to some hook-nosed bastards who tried to steal our identity and were put in those Dutch ovens and gassed to death? Good for you. You know, nobody gives a damn about all the brothers and sisters that died during the transatlantic slave trade. But I got to care about something that happened only 7 years when this has been going on for hundreds. Stop playing, man. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, now is your time in these end days to learn something that's going to benefit you, you know, not just now, but when Christ comes back. ISUPK.com, man. Get into these classes, ask your questions, something you're not allowed to do in a Christian church. Figure out what it is that we need to do to save our children, you know, to look out for one another. That's what brotherhood is about. That's what sisterhood is about. And they're synonymous to one another. Being responsible, you know. Everybody want to say take a village to raise a child, but you looking out your window watching this little black bastard crying through a window, and they say, "Oh, I was that black bastard back in the day. I seen Miss such and such see me. She ain't care. When I came to cut her grass, she tried to run down on me." You know, don't look at your brother and sister as if they're worthless, because we've all been there. I could have been the black bastard that was about to get shot. Somebody had mercy on me. Well, instead of teaching our kids and, you know, our brothers and sisters how to do things the wrong way, we have to be that example, man. Put your all black on. Come into the ISUPK and find out what it means to have an identity. You understand? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. We are the ISUPK, started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. All right, since 1969, we bring the truth of so-called Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians about who they are according to the Bible. It's a lot. We'll go ahead and get these prayers in. So with that, Elijah, which needs to stand. All right. Find out which way the east is. Salakia. Well, Punya Hakwadum, which means try to face the east, which is directly behind me. Right. We are in a leverage to try to keep the voice down. Right. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna read the security announcements first. Yeah. All right. So, matter of fact, I'll read the prayers. I think that's what I read the prayers first. Salakia. All right, so we're gonna start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew first. Adonai, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawa, Lacham, Kav, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawawaf Nawa, Wala'ah, Tabayayanawa, Manasayawan, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwaf, Waha Allah, Waha Thapa Arath, La'ai, Walamyam, Amen. What I just read in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. To prayer for the power of the Akak, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, Bawakashah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, La Rapa'ah, Kal, Makal, La, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, La Hakwayim, Hamatian, Hakak, Al Rakawafwa, Ha Tama'ala, Lagarshim, Barshim Yahushua throughout the month. In the English, Lord, in the name of Jesus, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Jesus, thank you, so be it. It's a prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Yamakala, Wa Alahayim, Ma Tesabai, Ya Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapia, Ha Serenium, Ha Quatizayanium, Ha Koyayoyim, Wa Ha Akwathium, Yahweh, Wa Hashem Yahweh Shai, Duolamah. In English, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asherah, Ayenya, Aharia, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, Ayathan, Lamawat, Agolika, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a Yakaka, Wayara, Bala Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Kal Ra, Yashamar Ath Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar Tazaathka, Wawaka, Ma'aith, Wa'ai, I alone. In the English, what I said was, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damiyah Lakab, Al-Salakia, Al-Takarash, Wa-Al-Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Wabyaka, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Imaka, Ya'ariya Yawan, Samadah, Wayatha, Ya'itazawa, Al-Tazapa, Wanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wakankida, Magawaya, Wala'a Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa Itazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Yaka, Rayath, Yakawathwa, Halia, Adawam, Salakia Wa, Yashamai, Allah, Yam, Mawaba, Wa Hagarian, Kabal, Wa Imawan, Wa Imalak, Palashat, Aim Yashak, Yatazawa, Kamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawa, Selah, Aisha Laham, Kamadia, Kasa, Ya, Sarah, Kayavin, Banakal, Kwashwan, Nasha Madwa, Barya, Dara, Hayawa, Da'am, La'adam, Shayathamwa, Nada, Ya Mawa, Ka'ira, Wakaza Abba, Wakaza Bak, Wakatazal, Benai, Kal, Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Marwa, Nayarash, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Naawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kago, Gala, Kakwash, Lapunya, Barak, Kwa, Ka'ash, Talaira, Yaira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Hariam, Khan, Baradama, Basairika, Wabasa'a, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Salakia, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashua, Waya Hawa, Ijai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Dorai, the Iwa Salakia, Kaya Tha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labaka, I, La Yahweh, Al Ka Ha Ratazah. What I just read in the English, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from indignation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Excuse me. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Javan, at the brook of Kison, which perished and endured. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a rib, and like Zeed, yea, all their princes as Zabah and Nazmuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth a wood, as a flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. We can go ahead and read the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers in the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasures of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force the rich to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court systems, prison systems, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek, synagogues, and armies, Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, the radio channels, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth, and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down in the flying saucer to punish all the heathens that come up against us. As we speak thy word, cause it to be known by all that it is, the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread throughout the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always. So be it. Psalm which means to turn. All right. Now we're going into class and we're going into security announcements. We are the Irish Vacation on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After the 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Then another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After that 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10 means a tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any of the Lord, any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the general Malachi Allah or the teacher, the priest fund, which is a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocation is going to be what? The clothing of Feast of Tabernacles. What's after that? Salaki, let me see. The Feast of Dedication? You sure? Let me see. Hold on, Salaki. Matter of fact, I'll get it for you in a second. Reminder for any Akim Akwathian, any questions, you ask your camp leader or the highest ranking man closest to you. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, blue shirt, pants, headband, and the scarf. All right, so with that, one courtesy salute to teach you. All right, so Maja Shabbat, Barak, Yahba Shemir Shabbat. Turn to the sister. Sister, please stand. Yeshavi. No, Maja, Salaki. Maja Shabbat, Barak, Yahba Shemar El Alatah Shemir Shabbat.
Shalom Yahweh Shamar Ilatah Al-Atah Ba'Shem Yahushua.
All right. Class dismissed, but before we go, it is Tabernacles. Oh yeah, the Feast of Dedication. Salaki. All right, so with that, go ahead and end it. Shalom, Israel.